Let's dive into this a little bit further. Let's bring in Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch. She's an immigration attorney in Austin, Texas. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. I remember back to 2016, President Trump really pushed forward with this idea of a border wall along the southern border. Since then, when it comes to the issue of illegal immigration, how effective are border walls?
I think most people know that border walls are ineffective. First of all, on a 1,200-mile border between Texas and Mexico, we're talking about only 34 miles now have a border by the state of Texas. So it's very limited parts of the border, but also they don't serve as a deterrent. It's easy to go around them. It's easy to figure out ways to go over them. And what we know is that in general, deterrent effects like this don't matter. They don't have a big impact. Really what we should be doing, first of all, the federal government, not the state government, should be thinking in the long term, what is driving migration? What can we do to resolve some of these push factors? And then what is going on with our own immigration system and legal process that's creating chaos and complications along the border? Those are the solutions, not, frankly, wasting Texas taxpayer money on a border wall.
Because I know you can't have a Border Patrol agent along every single mile of the U.S.-Mexico border. But is there any room for the role of a stronger, physical barrier in place as part of the solution going forward?
You know, I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about the porosity of the border. People say, oh, you know, the people can just come and cross the border and they won't get apprehended. The Department of Homeland Security has an over $100 billion budget. It's larger than any other federal law enforcement budget combined, and that includes the Border Patrol budget. It's within the DHS budget. We have a very strong border. So the issue is not, are we able to apprehend people and keep our borders safe from a federal level? The question is, what is driving people to cross the border between the points of entry? I would argue that we don't have an immigration system that supports the needs of our economy, so that people who actually do just want to come here and work and fill jobs that we need filled don't have a way to do it. But also, ever since 2020, we essentially have closed the border to asylum seekers. And so there has been no way for people who are legitimately fleeing danger to access protections. And that creates all sorts of issues. It creates populations of people waiting to cross. Cartels seize upon these vulnerable populations and kidnap them. It's a really awful situation. I talk to people all the time who have been in that situation, who have been kidnapped, who have been subject to violence. And these are people who really, if they were provided a way to present at the border and be screened for asylum like they used to be able to do, they would 100% do it that way. But these old mechanisms that we had in place that functioned have been taken away from us. So really, it's a fundamental question of what are we doing at the governmental level, the federal governmental level, about processing asylum seekers and the immigration question overall. And, you know, Gregg, Abbott, Texas taxpayer money, a lot of that is just for political attention and gain. And it's no secret that 34 miles of border on a 1,200-mile border between the state and Mexico is not going to have an impact.
Yeah, I mean, $25 million per mile, it certainly adds up.